We already saw a taste of it this weekend. The heat and humidity still continue on into your Monday. How long will it last? I'll have all the details coming up in just a couple seconds.
A proceeding set for today could lead to criminal charges in the death of a La Crosse mother killed while riding her bike. We'll have the latest update. New tariffs on 60 countries take effect today. What it could mean for your wallet.
Streaming 24/7 on the News 8 Plus app. You're watching News 8 Now this morning.
Good morning. Thank you for joining us. I'm Alexandra Carter. It is Monday, July 27th. It is 6 a.m. Thanks for starting your week with us. We will start by getting a check on the forecast with meteorologist Nicole Skalicksky on this alert day, and we can expect another scorcher out there.
Yeah, it's going to be quite miserable when you step out the door this morning, especially going into the later afternoon hours. Your heat index is soaring for yet another day. High temperatures into the mid-90s, but with dew points in the mid-70s, it's likely going to feel closer to the triple digits out there across the entirety of the area. Right now this morning, we're already off to a warmer start. 75 degrees in La Crosse, your dew point at 72, so it's humid. A lot of moisture sitting in the air outside. Wouldn't be surprised to be seeing some foggy spots, especially in the lower lying areas. You can see some of that off into the bluffs on the Minnesota side of the river. Maybe a little bit of a haze still lingering in Eau Claire as we saw some smoke pass through this weekend. Overall, though, the heat really going to be your big story today. 77 degrees right now in Eau Claire with a dew point in the mid-70s. As we go throughout the rest of the afternoon, we're going to be soaring pretty quickly into the mid-90s. Again, your heat index close to the triple digits. The good news is we'll have a little bit of a breeze out there. Winds blowing around 10 to 15 miles per hour, giving some relief, but this heat doesn't last too long. We're already seeing signs of more comfortable conditions as soon as tomorrow, so I'll break it all down coming up in a little bit.
As that heat and humidity roll in that Nicole was talking about, medical experts say it is time to be extra careful. One key concern is the humidity itself. Saturated air makes it harder for your body to cool off, raising the risk of heat-related illness.
Having a fan move some of that air around your body to kind of pull some of that moisture, some of your sweat off too, that'll help you cool off as well. Loose fitting clothing is good, again, keeping that air moving around your body as much as possible.
Experts add to pre-hydrate before you plan on heading outside. Even drinking extra water the day before outdoor activities can make a difference. And as the heat heads inside, bats are also trying to head inside. Other pests could be looking for a cool place to hide inside of your home.
You got to think of them as like a flying mouse, so to speak. So anything that's a gap leading into the building that's allowing a draft of air out of the building, the bats are going to find their way back inside. Notice some fascia that's separating from the building, get that sealed up. If you notice some software returns that are opening up or the wind's blowing them open, get them fastened down.
Common areas bats get into homes are vents and other small gaps. And a reminder, you can track the heat and the relief by downloading our free First Warn weather app. Some headlines to get to this morning happening today. A proceeding to determine whether criminal charges should be filed in the death of Terriana Thompson will start today. Thompson was the La Crosse mother struck and killed while riding her bike on the north side in May. The driver received a citation, but her family's been pushing for more. Community members also plan to gather outside the La Crosse County Courthouse this morning in solidarity, wearing pink in her honor. A murder trial getting underway today in La Crosse. 28-year-old Cody Allen is accused of fatally shooting a man outside of a La Crosse bar last January. Jury selection set for 8:45. Allen faces first-degree intentional homicide charges. An alert for your commute this morning. Parts of West Avenue will close starting today. The northbound lanes between Market and Division Streets. Lane closures and reductions are expected to last for about 6 weeks. You can find a detour on the city's website. The Vernon County Sheriff's Office adding a new life-saving tool to every patrol vehicle. News 8's Jadius McGee shows us what's driving the change.
The next time a Vernon County deputy responds to a medical emergency, they will have another tool that could help save a life. The Vernon County Sheriff Office announced Saturday that they are equipping every patrol vehicle with epinephrine auto-injectors, better known as EpiPens. Sheriff Roy Torgerson says the goal is to give deputies the ability to respond quickly when someone suffers a severe allergic reaction.
If someone does go into, suffers an allergic reaction and experiences anaphylaxis, the only known way to treat that is with epinephrine, and it needs to be immediate.
The initiative was inspired by the Mueller family after their son Andrew died in 2024 after suffering an allergic reaction to an unknown peanut allergy. Now they're working to make sure other families don't experience the same loss.
We had 3 police officers that made it there before the ambulance, and EMS actually had made it there, but none of them at that time were carrying epinephrine. So had they made it there on time with epinephrine, it might have saved his life.
The Mueller family is also working with state lawmakers to pass Andrew's Law, which will require first responders across Wisconsin to carry EpiPens. Supplying each responder with 2 EpiPens will cost the state about $2.6 million annually. But for Mueller, it is more than worth it.
We've had 2 that were administered. Last year there was another EpiPen that was administered, so I know of at least 4 lives in our local community that have been saved as a result of the police carrying EpiPens. We just need to make Andrew's Law a thing.
Mueller says the bill is stalled in the Senate, but he is hopeful it will get passed soon. Reporting in the studio, JDS McGee, News 8 Now this morning.
And kids got a chance to climb, crank, and explore in Trumpealo over the weekend. The Touch a Truck event brought out families for a hands-on look at vehicles, things like fire trucks, excavators, and dump trucks.
Just to be able to interact with that. A lot of times it's just you're interacting with your toy or like a book or something like that. So it's a great experience for them to come and learn.
Organizers at it say a way to give kids a chance to get up close with the big rigs. The 52nd Annual Mediterranean Festival drew a crowd to St. Elias Church in La Crosse. Attendees dined on authentic food from the Middle East and Eastern Europe, including lamb kebab, Syrian rice, falafel, and hummus. The annual event also raises money for the historic church, which is working on adding a bell tower.
It's going to provide handicap accessibility. The building itself is over 100 years old, and it's not up to the kind of modern standards that we have for accessibility. So we're putting an elevator in it for people to come up who have trouble with stairs. Then we hope to get that final push to get a dome on top, which is a major cultural icon for Orthodox parishes and for Orthodox cultures.
Along with food, the event featured music you heard right there and a bake sale. President Trump heading to Battleground, Michigan today, 3 months before the midterms, as a new CBS poll showing more than 60% of Americans believe the Iran war is going badly. Bradley Blackburn reports.
The U.S. and Iran paused strikes over the weekend. A key Trump administration official told CBS News President Trump is giving diplomacy a chance, though with this warning.
Additional military assets are moving into the region. The regime should believe the president when he says they're locked and loaded, and all options are on the table.
Despite the pause, the latest Kepler tracking data shows that fewer than a dozen commercial ships passed through the Strait of Hormuz over the weekend. Iran says the status of the shipping route remains unchanged despite the president's insistence that the U.S. controls it. The Iranians also say its talks with Oman have been productive. But Iran-backed Houthi rebels have stepped up attacks on Saudi oil facilities near the Red Sea, slowing shipping traffic at another key shipping route in the region. A new CBS News poll shows many Americans feel uncertain or frustrated by the conflict. 67% say the U.S. should end it now.
I don't think we ought to just cut and run. If we can stand the pain of the rising cost of energy, we need to stay the course.
Yeah. 78% say the president is not focusing enough on lowering prices amid soaring gas and food costs.
MAGA Republicans can find money for Donald Trump's reckless war of choice in Iran. But when it comes to making your life more affordable, the cookie jar is empty.
The political stakes are high with less than 100 days to go until November's midterm elections. Bradley Blackburn, CBS News, New York.
3 people are dead, 4 others hurt after a shooting at a food festival in Seattle last night. It happened at the Bite of Seattle Festival. Police and federal agents on scene, you see right there. A suspect is in custody as the investigation continues.
There was a guy shot in the leg. One female was surrounded by people helping her out. The other one was doing CPR. People were grabbing chairs to help them put them up, sit them up.
Investigators say there were no cameras at the location where the shooting happened. The time now 6:09, still ahead. The federal government taking action to prevent blackouts during another heat wave. We'll explain. And as prices climb, so is the number of shoplifters. Why that behavior is growing. And the cost of living hitting a new high. Grocery prices seeing their biggest jump in half a century. Details coming up.
A big part of my job is building relationships with people, and being the team you can trust means being here for you.
'Cause everybody's welcome at Firefighters Credit Union.
Dental implants are often the best solution to severe dental issues. If you have infection in your mouth, it does cause trouble other places. A lot of people ignore infection for way too long. And when they finally do something about it, they say not only do they like what they did here, but they feel better overall. In the end, you can have a smile you're proud of and a very healthy mouth.
We're an implant-focused practice. If you think you have a full mouth of challenges, come see us. Come down for a free consultation.
Partners working together. Governor Tony Evers and David Crowley fought and delivered on health care, affordable housing, and schools. Tony Evers said David Crowley created thousands of new jobs, cut the county's local carbon emissions in half, and passed a balanced budget. And David Crowley is standing up to Trump and taking on AI data centers. Tell David Crowley to keep fighting for us.
One of the things that I think makes us unique is that we are the one-stop shop. We have the carpenters, we also employ plumbers, we also employ electricians. We've got really good workmen to complete the job, no matter what it is. Across the board, it's just, as the saying goes, being above board, being a step above, not cutting any corners when it comes to protecting our customers and protecting our employees. Call today for a prompt free estimate.
The independent living is really nice because you have your own apartment and it's just like living at home.
Although I thought I was way too young to be moving in a place like this, finding a welcome home was just like finding a home.
Live your life the way you want to and don't have to worry about all the other chores and insurance and things like that.
I like that we get a balanced meal. Those little helps really help me to be independent.
News 8, the Salvation Army, and the YMCA are helping our community go back to school with Stuff the Bus. Stop by the La Crosse or Onalaska Walmarts on August 7th and fill the bus with school supplies. Donate new supplies or cash. We'll put them in the backpacks for the students in our community who need it most. We'll see you at Walmart on August 7th to help us stuff the bus. Brought to you by these great community partners and proudly sponsored by Cooley Bank and Home Furniture.
A big part of my job is building relationships with people, and being the team you can trust means being here for you.
'Cause everybody's welcome at Firefighters Credit Union.
In your morning consumer news, another heat wave is straining the power grid and the federal government is stepping in. The Energy Department issuing an emergency order to prevent blackouts in 17 states, including Minnesota, as surging air conditioning use pushes the electrical system to its limits. New tariffs now in effect, meanwhile, on imports from 60 of America's trading partners, including China, the EU, Japan, and South Korea. The White House says the countries failed to keep forced labor out of their supply chains. Shoppers could see higher prices on electronics, clothing, furniture, and toys. A new Lending Tree survey finds 30% of Americans admit to shoplifting in the past year. That's up 24% from 2024. 9 in 10 surveyed surveyed blame affordability issues and the economy. Food and drinks were the most commonly stolen items, followed by clothing and personal care products. New concerns about the cost of living. Americans are also experiencing the biggest jump in grocery prices in half a century. CBS's Olivia Gazis is at the White House with more.
I'm getting shafted at the pump. That's how I feel.
Oil prices surged above $100 a barrel this week after 13 straight days of U.S. strikes in Iran. Last night brought the first lull in bombing as the president apparently weighs what's next.
We're locked and loaded and ready to go, but we're talking to them, so I think while we're talking, we'll see what comes of it.
The president did fire new shots in his global trade war, this week imposing new tariffs targeting at least 60 trading partners after the Supreme Court struck down his previous actions.
It hurts the population in the United States, hurts the population in Canada and in Ontario. This does not work.
Canada, the U.S.'s second largest trading partner, among the hardest hit. It now faces a 50% tariff on a wide array of exports. Doug Ford, the Premier of Ontario, says Canada won't be intimidated.
We'll not back down and we'll negotiate from a position of strength.
The acrimony now so acute, Canada alone celebrated the long-awaited opening of a massive bridge connecting Michigan and Ontario that is also the busiest commercial crossing between the two countries. President Trump demanding a new revenue-sharing deal on social media, and today posting this image of an air filter between the two countries after threatening Canada with more tariff pain for wildfire smoke drifting into the U.S.
I've told Canada they have to do something about it. You know, we've never had this problem. All of a sudden we have this problem with Canada.
Under the current law, the estimated household costs due to tariffs are at about $1,100 per year, according to Yale University's Budget Lab. That's before the administration's expected announcement of additional tariffs in the coming weeks. Olivia Gazis, CBS News, the White House.
That's a look at your consumer news. We'll send it over to Nicole now. She's got an update on the alert day.
Yeah, it is going to be a muggy one out there. Uncomfortable weather expected for this afternoon. Very similar conditions to what we saw yesterday, being that your heat index is going to be near, or actually for most of us, exceeding 100 degrees this afternoon. Really uncomfortable conditions. Your forecast highs in the mid-90s today. 96 in La Crosse, 94 in Eau Claire. We're going to be around 10 degrees, if not a little bit more above average. And while the temperatures, of course, are hot, the dew point is where the real issues are lying. We're seeing dew points well into the mid-70s. That combined with our heat is going to be pushing our heat index well into the triple digits. Really, anyone south of I-94 has an almost guaranteed chance that you'll feel closer to 100 degrees today, at least into the upper 90s for anyone north of I-94. So dangerously hot for everyone. Areas south of I-90 at the warmest today could be nearing the 100 in teens for your feels like briefly this afternoon. But even though it'll be a short stint in the early afternoon, still dangerous nonetheless. So take plenty of breaks inside if you have to be outdoors. Find some cool spots to try to cool off throughout this time. Good news is we do see this falling. It's still going to be hot all week long, or at least warm. Summer conditions definitely as we're still in the end of July, but the dew points will be much better. Already for tomorrow morning, the temperature is taking a little bit of a dive, still warm by morning standards, but we'll be back into the upper 60s when you wake up, and then going into the afternoon. Well, the temperatures themselves are only going to be 5 to 10 degrees cooler. The dew point is going to be much, much lower, back into the low 60s across most of the area. Because of that, your heat index really doesn't stray too much warmer than the actual temperature, feeling no warmer than near 90 degrees tomorrow. So still hot, but out of that dangerous heat. We're peaking today, and then for the rest of the week staying in the 80s to close to 90. Again, warm, but nothing that's going to be unseasonable or uncomfortable by summertime standards. Just have to get through today, because today will be that doozy. You can really see that dive in those dew points as we look at our muggy meter. We're getting into that miserable category early this afternoon, but already by the evening hours, we see those dew points falling already, just going into the latter half of today. And then by tomorrow morning, we'll be a little bit muggy out there, but much more comfortable, much more bearable. A brief uptick in your humidity as we go into Wednesday. And then for the rest of the week, we're going to be anywhere in between muggy and just noticeable on your dew point scale. Again, much more manageable than what we're looking at today. Because of that, if you have any outdoor chores to get done, mowing the lawn maybe. Skip it today. It can hold off just one more day because the rest of the week will be warm, but you'll definitely find some breaks throughout the day where it's not going to feel like you're swimming in soup as you step out the door. So we do have that alert day because of the heat today. As we go throughout the rest of the week, a couple thunderstorm chances, one of which comes early this morning, possibly in the next few hours. I'll have all the details on the potential for those thunderstorms coming up in a little bit.
Thank you, Nicole. As you wake up this morning, leaving you with a live look of Atlantic City, New Jersey. Today is National New Jersey Day, celebrating the third state to join the union as we take a look at the boardwalk here this morning. Stay with us. More news coming up after your morning sports blitz.
Coming up in sports, a master class on the mound. It was Ms. Day in Milwaukee, and the Brewers ace was on fire. I've got the highlights coming up in the morning blitz.
When you have a drain backup, you need help fast. From slow drains to clogged mains, we solve it all. Maxwell White has been solving sewer, septic, and drain issues in the La Crosse Coulee region for more than 30 years. Fast, reliable, and professional. Call or book online today.
News 8, the Salvation Army, and the YMCA are helping our community go back to school with Stuff the Bus. Stop by the La Crosse or Onalaska Walmarts on August 7th and fill the bus with school supplies. Donate new supplies or cash. We'll put them in the backpacks for the students in our community who need it most. We'll see you at Walmart on August 7th to help us stuff the bus. Brought to you by these great community partners and proudly sponsored by Coulee Bank and Home Furniture.
Welcome to Breakfast with the Tiffanys, where nobody bites their tongue.
Tom, you've got to fix healthcare. No one knows what it costs.
I'm going to make it be more transparent.
Young families can't afford housing.
I will stop Wall Street from buying our homes and reverse the 400-year property tax hike.
What about waste and fraud?
We're going to audit every state agency to protect our tax dollars.
Tom, you know Ma's going to hold you to it.
I wouldn't have it any other way.
Why does my psoriasis always get in the way? I've tried lotions, pills. They haven't done enough for me. I love that he sees me, not my psoriasis. But the fact that it's always there breaks me. I'm so done.
Talk to your dermatologist about your psoriasis symptoms and treatment options. Go to SoDone.com.
Keeping you safe and ahead of the storm with current conditions and updated video forecasts from the local team that warns you first. The News 8 Now First Warn Weather app, giving you more than what you'd expect. Get it now. No, seriously, like, right now.
From clogged drains to new faucet installations, we've got you covered. Since 1994, we've served homeowners across the area to make sure their plumbing is done right. So call us today and see what done right looks like for your home's plumbing.
It's an easy puzzle to solve. The one app your phone can't live without. Bringing you local news, sports, streaming video, and a lot more. The News 8 Now app. Get it today. Oh, and good job on the puzzle. News 8 Now Sports.
The morning blitz. The Milwaukee Brewers were looking for a series win at home yesterday against the Colorado Rockies, and there's not really many other pitchers you would want on the mound as Jacob Misiorowski was looking to continue his dominant season. He entered the game leading the league in ERA and strikeouts, and yesterday was no different. First inning already with one strikeout under his belt. How about some high heat for out number 2? Next batter, 2 strikes, and he goes up in the zone. Miz strikes out the side. Bottom of the inning, after a Jackson Chourio leadoff double, Terang lays down the bunt, the flip to first, nowhere close. Chourio's going to score. Brewers take the lead. Terang would later score on a wild pitch, then with a runner on third, Jake Bowers scores another on the fielder's choice. It's 3-0 Milwaukee, and after that, it was all Miz. Second inning, strikes out the side, 6 straight Ks to start the game. Third inning, how about 2 more? 8 strikeouts through the first 9 batters, and he wasn't done. Fourth inning, he would go 1, 2, 3 again. 3 more strikeouts. He was on fire yesterday. Then in the 5th, up to 12 Ks, but with 2 outs, finally makes a mistake. Cole Carrick's going to tag him up. A line shot just barely clears the wall and left. It was Colorado's first hit of the game. Miz would finish with those 12 strikeouts through 5 innings and was just fantastic. Then in the 6th, the Brewers offense would heat up. First, it's Andrew Vaughn starting off the inning with a leadoff home run. That would make it 4-1 Milwaukee. Then later in the inning, the rookies would take over. 2 on for Luis Lara. He lines one into right field for an RBI double. It's 5-1. Next batter, Cooper Pratt at the plate, the other rookie, and Pratt with a rope into left field. That scores both runners. Brewers blow this one wide open. They would get the win 11-2. Now, Milwaukee has now won 7 of 9 coming out of the All-Star break. They're up to 66 wins on the season, and now they'll have to do it on the road as the Brewers go out west for a road trip. First going up against the Giants for 3 games starting later tonight, then the Angels for 3 starting Friday. And here's what the division standings are looking like after the weekend. The Brewers with the second best record in baseball. They're up to a 7-game lead over the Cubs. The Pirates now in 3rd place, 12.5 games back, while the Cardinals continue to slide. They're 13 games out, and the Reds not listed, 16.5 back. That'll do it for the Blitz. We'll see you tonight.
Save big money with Menards Spotlight Savings before the sun sets on these amazing deals. Prices are value after rebate. Natural Landscape Rock is only $2.49 per bag. A 25-pound bag of Signature Blend Bird Food, just $17.79. Pick up a 24-pack of Fine Tip markers, only $2.99. A jar of Fisher Roasted Peanuts, just $2.39. Sign up for Menards emails to get the weekly flyer plus exclusive daily flash sales right to your inbox.
Save big money at Menards.
You don't have to look too far to see living proof of Washington's failures. It's endless money for foreign wars and nothing but increased costs for hardworking families. I grew up on a dairy farm, ran a small business, and wait tables to pay the bills. I fight for people. It's why I refuse corporate cash, and I won't trade any stocks in Congress. We need more working class folks to represent us in D.C. that'll stand up to special interests. I'm Rebecca Cook, and I approve this message.
News 8, the Salvation Army, and the YMCA are helping our community go back to school with Stuff the Bus. Stop by the La Crosse or Onalaska Walmarts on August 7th and fill the bus with school supplies. Donate new supplies or cash. We'll put them in the backpacks for the students in our community who need it most. We'll see you at Walmart on August 7th to help us stuff the bus. Brought to you by these great community partners and proudly sponsored by Cooley Bank and Home Furniture.
Hi, we're Easy Cash Buyer. And we're here to put an end to the hassle of selling your home. We buy houses for cash. With no showings and no commissions. Don't even fix a thing. Just cash in your pocket when you need it. Whatever the situation you find yourselves in, and whatever your property looks like, we'll buy it as is for cash. Give us a quick call today for a fair cash offer. And close when you're ready. It's that easy. Call 715-303-SELL. That's 715-303-SELL.
At Bethany St. Joseph, we understand that home is more than just a place. It's a feeling. That's why our team works to provide trusted support and an uplifting environment. In our assisted living communities, you'll find neighbors who become friends and days that inspire life, hope, and healing. Discover the warmth and support that make Bethany St. Joseph communities more than just a place to live. They are a place to thrive. We look forward to meeting you.
This is the Irish Fest you've been waiting for, celebrating 21 years of Irish Fest Lacrosse, August 7th through the 9th, with one of our biggest lineups ever, including the High Kings, Gaelic Storm, City and the Harp Twins, plus making their first ever appearance at Irish Fest Lacrosse, the 11-member all-female Irish supergroup Bird. 3 days of music, food, culture, games and family fun await. Irish Fest Lacrosse, celebrating Ireland and the heart of lacrosse. Tickets are available now at irishfestlacrosse.org. Slaughter.
The First Warn Weather app. Download it today.
The heat and humidity are on today, going to feel muggy and gross as you step out the door this morning. I'll have everything you need to know coming up in just a couple seconds.
A proceeding begins today that could lead to criminal charges in the death of a lacrosse mother killed while riding her bike. We'll have the details coming up. And summer bike tips from Sparta's only bike shop, this week's eyepiece later in the newscast. Before back to school chaos hits, why now's the perfect time for your kids' annual checkup.
Streaming 24/7 on the News 8 Plus app. You're watching News 8 Now this morning.
Good morning. Thanks for joining us this morning. I'm Alexandra Carter. It is Monday, July 27th, just about 6:30. Thanks for starting your morning with us. We will start by getting a check on our forecast with meteorologist Nicole Skalixky. Stepping outside, you can already feel the heat this morning.
Yeah, it feels like you are stepping out into maybe a boiling pot of water, maybe a hot pot of soup. Just really gross outside. We're seeing temperatures rising even further, of course, as we go into the afternoon. The humidity, though, really going to be the culprit today. Because of that, your heat index rising close to, if not for most of us, above 100 degrees as we head into the early afternoon hours. Right now in La Crosse, it's already off to a warm start. 75 degrees, your dew point 72, so very, very muggy as you first step out the door. In Eau Claire, 77 degrees right now, a dew point of 75. As we go throughout the rest of the day, starting in La Crosse, a low chance of some thunderstorms this morning, although the trend is looking like the heat kind of saves us from any chances for rain today. But it's going to feel quite hot nonetheless as we go into the afternoon. Heat index approaching the triple digits, just approaching by the noon hour. The good news is maybe some relief from a bit of a breeze that we'll have today, blowing first out of the west, becoming thankfully more northerly as we go throughout the day. That'll cool us off eventually as we go into tomorrow, but still a hot one today. And of course, we still stay warm all week long, but it will be more manageable. I'll have a closer look at your temperature trend coming up in a little bit.
Thank you, Nicole. As that heat and humidity roll in, medical experts say it is time to be extra cautious. One key concern is the humidity itself. Saturated air makes it harder for your body to cool off, raising the risk of heat-related illness.
Having a fan move some of that air around your body to kind of pull some of that moisture, some of your sweat off too, that'll help you cool off as well. Loose fitting clothing is good. Again, keeping that air moving around your body as much as possible.
Experts add to pre-hydrate before you plan on heading outside. Even drinking extra water the day before outdoor activities can make a difference. And as the heat rises, bats and other pests may be looking for a place to hide inside of your home.
You got to think of them as like a flying mouse, so to speak. So anything that's a gap leading into the building that's allowing a draft of air out of the building, the bats are going to find their way back inside. Notice some fascia that's separating from the building, get that sealed up. If you notice some software returns that are kind of opening up or the wind's blowing them open, get them fastened down.
Common areas bats get into homes are the vents and other small gaps. And a reminder, you can track the heat and relief by downloading our free First Warn weather app. Happening today, a proceeding to determine whether criminal charges should be filed in the death of Terriana Thompson begins. Thompson was the La Crosse mother struck and killed while riding her bike on the north side in May. The driver received a citation, but her family's been pushing for more. Community members are gathering outside the La Crosse County Courthouse this morning in solidarity, wearing pink in her honor. A murder trial gets underway today in La Crosse. 28-year-old Cody Allen is accused of fatally shooting a man outside of a La Crosse bar in January of 2025. Jury selection set for 8:45. Allen faces first-degree intentional homicide charges. An alert as you head out the door this morning. Parts of West Avenue are closing starting today. The northbound lanes between Market and Division Streets is what we're talking about. Lane closures and reductions are expected to last for about 6 weeks. A detour is posted on the city's website. The Vernon County Sheriff's Office is adding a new life-saving tool to every patrol vehicle. News 8 Now's JD's McGee shows us what's driving the change.
The next time a Vernon County deputy responds to a medical emergency, they will have another tool that could help save a life. The Vernon County Sheriff's Office announced Saturday that they are equipping every patrol vehicle with epinephrine auto-injectors, better known as EpiPens. Sheriff Roy Torgerson says the goal is to give deputies the ability to respond quickly when someone suffers a severe allergic reaction.
If someone does go into, suffers an allergic reaction and experiences anaphylaxis, the only known way to treat that is with epinephrine, and it needs to be immediate.
The initiative was inspired by the Mueller family after their son Andrew died in 2024 after suffering an allergic reaction to an unknown peanut allergy. Now they're working to make sure other families don't experience the same loss.
We had 3 police officers that made it there before the ambulance, and EMS
actually had made it there, but none of them at that time were carrying epinephrine. So had they made it there on time with epinephrine, it might have saved his life.
The Mueller family is also working with state lawmakers to pass Andrews' law, which will require first responders across Wisconsin to carry EpiPens. Supplying each responder with 2 EpiPens will cost the state about $2.6 million annually. But for Mueller, it is more than worth it.
We've had 2 that were administered. Last year there was another EpiPen that was administered, so I know of at least 4 lives in our local community that have been saved as a result of the police carrying EpiPens. We just need to make Andrews' law a thing.
Mueller says the bill is stalled in the Senate, but he is hopeful it will get passed soon. Reporting in the studio, JDS McGee, News 8 Now this morning.
The 52nd Annual Mediterranean Festival drew a crowd to St. Elias Church in La Crosse yesterday. Attendees dined on authentic food from the Middle East and Eastern Europe, including lamb kebabs, falafel, and hummus. The annual event also raises money for the historic church, which is working on adding a bell tower.
It's going to provide handicap accessibility. The building itself is over 100 years old, and it's not up to the kind of modern standards that we have for accessibility. So we're putting an elevator in it for people to come up who have trouble with stairs. Then we hope to get that final push to get a dome on top, which is a major cultural icon for Orthodox parishes and for Orthodox cultures.
Along with food, the event featured music and a bake sale. President Trump heading to Battleground, Michigan today, 3 months before the midterms, as a new CBS poll shows more than 60% of Americans believe the Iran war is going badly. Bradley Blackburn reports.
The U.S. and Iran paused strikes over the weekend. A key Trump administration official told CBS News President Trump is giving diplomacy a chance, though with this warning.
Additional military assets are moving into the region. The regime should believe the president when he says they're locked and loaded, and all options are on the table.
Despite the pause, the latest Kepler tracking data shows that fewer than a dozen commercial ships passed through the Strait of Hormuz over the weekend. Iran says the status of the shipping route remains unchanged despite the president's insistence that the U.S. controls it. The Iranians also say its talks with Oman have been productive. But Iran-backed Houthi rebels have stepped up attacks on Saudi oil facilities near the Red Sea, slowing shipping traffic at another key shipping route in the region. A new CBS News poll shows many Americans feel uncertain or frustrated by the conflict. 67% say the U.S. should end it now.
I don't think we ought to just cut and run. If we can stand the pain of the rising cost of energy, we need to stay the course.
Yeah. 78% say the president is not focusing enough on lowering prices amid soaring gas and food costs.
MAGA Republicans can find money for Donald Trump's reckless war of choice in Iran. But when it comes to making your life more affordable, the cookie jar is empty.
The political stakes are high with less than 100 days to go until November's midterm elections. Bradley Blackburn, CBS News, New York.
3 people are dead and 4 others hurt after a shooting at a food festival in Seattle last night. That happened at the Bite of Seattle Festival. Police and federal agents on scene. A suspect is in custody this morning as the investigation continues.
There was a guy shot in the leg. One female was surrounded by people helping her out. The other one was doing CPR. People were grabbing chairs to help them put them up, sit them up.
Investigators say there were no cameras at the location the shooting happened. Summer is prime bike season, and Sparta's only bike shop has tips to keep your ride running smoothly. Duncan Noose has this week's eyepiece.
A lot of times as recreational riders don't realize is how fast their tires go down on air. That is something that, once a week at least, if not, they need to get topped off. I mean, they don't drop down a lot, but they drop a few pounds, and pretty soon over a couple of weeks period, you could be 10, 20 pounds under what it was, when you were riding when it was proper, which then can also lead to issues with flats and stuff. Started the bicycle shop when I was 16. I was just a freshman in high school. After about 10 years of running, after I had graduated and looking for winter jobs, I picked up electric motor shop. So that helped us survive through the winter.
I brought my KitchenAid over to have him gear put in. He's the only guy in town that
does that kind of work anymore.
When we started, there was another small shop. A guy operated out of his house, but then as he got older and he kind of went out of it. We've never had no, per se, local competition.
Somebody will buy it. Huh? There's always somebody out there.
Being the 48th year, looking to try to downsize, slow up, and possibly sell, or this is going to be our last year of renting bikes. So the next year we'll work on selling the fleet off if something doesn't happen where somebody buys it and continues it as a rental, which would be super if that would happen.
You got to be a handyman to own this place.
Before we head to break, it's time to look at today's Look Who's 8.
Agnes turns 88 today. She is a grandmother to 5, a great-grandmother to 10, and she loves to spend time with her family and friends, knitting and assisting in her church communities.
Well, we hope you have a great day today, Agnes. And if you know a special someone turning 8 weeks, 8 months, 8 years, 1880, or 88, we'd love to feature them.
That's right. Just upload their photo to our website under the Features tab on news8000.com.
Well, before back-to-school chaos hits, why now is the perfect time for your kids' annual checkup. We're joined by a pediatrician coming up on Mindful Monday.
She's a proud socialist. He lost statewide before. A couple weeks ago, he dropped out. Madison insiders want you to think these are the only choices you have for governor. But they'll all lose to Republicans in November. You get to decide who's the Democrat who can win. I'm Joel Brennan. I'm running for governor to lower costs, to expand Badger Care, to build 100,000 new homes, and to fight back against Donald Trump. I will win in November, and I'll never quit on Wisconsin.
After a car accident, the insurance company may try to offer you a quick check. But quick doesn't mean fair. We've turned $10,000 insurance offers into over $700,000, and $0 offers into over $1 million. That's the difference that we make. At Pemberton Personal Injury Law Firm, we fight to make sure our clients get full value for their cases. Get the Pemberton Promise and call 608-FIGHT-FOR-YOU.
News 8, the Salvation Army, and the YMCA are helping our community go back to school with Stuff the Bus. Stop by the La Crosse or Onalaska Walmarts on August 7th and fill the bus with school supplies. Donate new supplies or cash. We'll put them in the backpacks for the students in our community who need it most. We'll see you at Walmart on August 7th to help us stuff the bus. Brought to you by these great community partners and proudly sponsored by Cooley Bank and Home Furniture.
Is your concrete cracked, stained, or darkening your space? Here at River Valley Floor Shield, we provide a concrete coating that turns that dark and damaged space into a durable, weather-resistant surface that matches your home perfectly. We are looking for limited home orders to take place in our concrete blow-up special, where they will receive 25% off the project in a new space they're proud of. Call today to see if you qualify.
We're an implant-focused practice. I think the advantage of a father-daughter practice is, I've been at this for 30 years now. I learned things that worked well and things that didn't work so well.
And it was fun to be able to just jump in and kind of complement that. I feel like it made both of us stronger. You don't expect it when you walk into a dental office. You don't expect the family aspect, but when you walk into our doors, we're going to give you that.
If you think you have a full mouth of challenges, come see us. Come down for a free consultation.
Partners working together. Governor Tony Evers and David Crowley fought and delivered on health care, affordable housing, and schools. Tony Evers said David Crowley created thousands of new jobs, cut the county's local carbon emissions in half, and passed a balanced budget. And David Crowley is standing up to Trump and taking on AI data centers. Tell David Crowley to keep fighting for us.
The heat and humidity are soaring today, making for very uncomfortable and even dangerous conditions as we head into the afternoon across the entirety of the area. Your heat index likely rising near or for most of us above 100 degrees today. Going to feel very hot and muggy outside. Your afternoon high temperatures today in the mid-90s, 96 in La Crosse, 94 in Eau Claire, everyone in the 90s today, but when you add the dew point on top of that, it will feel warmer than that. As we head into the early afternoon, closer to 1 or 2 o'clock, that's when we're expecting the hottest of your heat index, or the hottest that it will feel like outside today. Everyone at least close to 100 degrees north of I-94 in the upper 90s, still very hot nonetheless. Everyone else likely exceeding that triple-digit mark today. Even some folks south of I-90 have the potential to be nearing 110 for your maximum heat index. Everyone, bottom line, going to be a hot one. The good news is we have a shift in the winds coming, blowing out of the southwest this early morning, becoming more northerly as we go throughout the afternoon, going to cut off that supply of hot and humid air. We still stay warm for the rest of the week, but not going to be that dangerous heat that we're seeing today. Your morning temperatures tomorrow back into the 60s, the upper 60s, so still quite warm, but not as bad as we have been. And then tomorrow afternoon, looking a lot better. Going to feel much better, much more manageable. Still warm, of course, because your heat index will be nearing 90 degrees for tomorrow afternoon, but out of the triple digits, out of that dangerous threshold across the area. That's the trend for the rest of the week. We peak today into the triple digits, and then for the rest of the week, it's still going to be warm, of course. There's a couple days, especially Wednesday, the humidity a little bit higher. We could be nearing the 90s for your heat index, but even that will be much more comfortable compared to what we have on board today, and then the rest of the week staying in the 80s. So some relief to come as soon as tomorrow. Just have to get through today, but it is going to be a hot one nonetheless. A nice change in the forecast as well. The heat is actually saving us from the chance for thunderstorms this morning. As you can see, radar very quiet for us. There is a severe thunderstorm watch for portions of northern Wisconsin, as we can see some stronger thunderstorms just making their way off of Lake Superior into the Upper Peninsula. It's far east of our area. It will continue to track down, but stays east of the area. As you can see on the futurecast, there's those thunderstorms. They stay well up there. There were signs that we could see some development of thunderstorms, but plainly it's just too hot outside, even this early in the morning, for thunderstorms to even have the ability or want to form. They're not even wanting to pass through the area. So we stay dry, sunny throughout much of the day as well. But again, the relief is coming really quickly. Already back into the 80s for the rest of the week. We will be near 90 degrees for the time being, but again, that dew point taking a nosedive. Much more comfortable and breathable conditions once we get past this afternoon.
Summer is the perfect time to get your kids in for their annual checkup before the back-to-school rush hits, and we're joined this morning by pediatrician Dr. Sarah Lolleman from Winona Health to learn more on this Mindful Monday. Thanks for being here with us this morning.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so tell us a little bit more. Yeah, no problem. So, you know, the well child visit, something we hear about, but why is it so important, and why is now a good time?
Well, the well check is actually a great way to make sure that your child is staying in great health. So just like you take your car to get its oil changed, or you go in and get your eyes checked, you also want to take your child in and make sure that they're up to speed and their health is being taken care of as well. So, and summer's a great time to do it because it's a time of year when generally our visits are a little bit lower. We're not dealing with colds and flu, sick infants, and other visits have to happen year round. So when you think back and you had an infant, they have to come at multiple visits all through the year. And so in the summertime, it's a good time to bring your kids in, and when they're older, they're not having to go to school. So it's really nice not to have to pull them out of school just to get their visits done.
Okay, good point.
And then when they get into sports, they also have to have an updated sports physical as well. And so we like to get that done and out of the way.
Yeah, so that's something that you could do in the same appointment then, to get two birds with one stone maybe?
Yes, we actually like to do those at the same time. And generally, as long as we're not uncovering a lot of surprises at that sports physical, we can get that done at the same time.
That's really helpful.
Okay,
always on
good
a time
to know.
crunch.
Yeah, for sure. And then, you know, daycare sometimes need forms, so you can kind of get all of that checked off with one visit.
Correct.
Okay.
Or if your kid has medications that they take or need to take at school, we can get those medication forms done at the visit.
Okay, a great time to do all that. All right, and then so what about screenings and immunizations? What are typically recommended at these visits?
Sure. So at young visits, we have a lot of developmental screenings that we like to do or need to do or want to do. We screen for autism. We make sure that they're meeting their milestones. But as your child gets a bit older, they change a bit. And so we start looking at social and emotional development. And you got to think too that just like adults get their cholesterol screened, kids actually are starting to have some concerns like that too. Cholesterol and diabetes are happening earlier. We like to make sure that their weight is staying appropriate. We're screening blood pressure. We're screening hearing and vision. And so we're looking for that. And also, we like to make sure that kids are not getting into trouble. We like to give them some time to talk to us. And so we're looking for all of that. There are some routine immunizations, and there's some hesitancy about that as well, but we like the opportunity to talk to parents about that and answer their questions.
Okay, yeah, those conversations are really important for sure. We know that. And so you talked about how the visits change. So scheduling an appointment, I'm sure, is easy to do with Winona Health.
Yes. So it used to be pretty old school, pick up the phone and talk to someone, and we love that we can still do that. We have great people answering the phone. However, now we have the ability to schedule online as well, and so all organizations, but you are able to do that online as long as your child is, you know, set up on the online system.
Okay, okay, that makes it a little bit easier. And then for parents who maybe have missed a few of these appointments, you know, I think there's kind of like some shame. What would you say to them to kind of just encourage them, like, it's okay, get back in the office?
No, I love it when people come in, and you're right, they come in and they say, it's been a long time, you know, and I'm like, no, you're here. I'm glad you're here. Thanks for coming back. Because it's really, really important. Of course, I get no more joy than seeing the kids that I've seen year after year, and I'm like, oh, it's time for their once a year visit. But we really do like to see kids year after year. It allows to build the rapport. It allows them to know me. It allows me to know them. And so if something important comes up down the road, if they end up starting to have a medical problem or starting to have some mental health concerns, depression or anxiety, they feel far more comfortable talking to me about it. Or as they get into the teen years and I want to just talk to them and excuse the parent out of the room, they feel comfortable doing that. And they know who I am. And I just love when actually the child wants to send a message in to me or through their parent, they say, will you tell Dr. Lallemand this happened? So.
Okay, just getting that dialogue opened is so important. We know that. All right, well, thank you so much. We appreciate your time, Dr. Lallemand. Thanks for being with us.
Thanks for having me today.
Stay with us. We'll be right back.
During the anniversary sale at Home Furniture, celebrate the savings. Right now, get our best finance offer and pay no interest until 2030. Or get an extra 10% off the home price, like this Verona sofa, just $8.99. The anniversary sale, now at Home Furniture.
At La Crosse Country Club, your membership includes more than just a round of golf. We have private lessons, youth clinics, practice facilities, and member tournaments designed to sharpen your game and create friendships. Inside the clubhouse, experience a stunning location for family celebrations, weddings, corporate events, and more. Whether you're looking for golf, tennis, or a private pool for the whole family, La Crosse Country Club is the place to create unforgettable memories. Scan the QR code or schedule your VIP tour today.
At Sealand's Carpetland, we know how hard your family can be in your home. Relax. We're more than just a flooring store. We're your partners that can create a home. Last a lifetime. Our flooring from Sealand's is perfect for muddy feet
and waterborne fights.
At Sealand's Carpetland in Coon Valley, let us help you find the perfect flooring because our #1 priority is you. Stop in today.
We're getting hit on both fronts. Donald Trump and Derek Van Orden, they're making our health care less accessible and more expensive for us. The loss of medical care. I haven't gotten my hearing aids.
We've got to change our healthcare system, not just Medicare expansion, but creating a public option so that more people can get access to care.
You're somebody that truly understands. I consider you one of us.
I'm Rebecca Cook, and I approve this message.
Sports bring us together. They're the moments we cheer for, argue over, and remember for years. But more and more, the games fans love are getting locked behind paywalls. Another app, another fee, Another way fans get left behind. Fans are tired of losing access to their favorite teams. Sports belong where everyone can watch them, on broadcast TV. Make your voice heard. Text sports to 39179 today.
Rest assured, at Home Sleep Express, the anniversary mattress sale is back. And right now on Prana Sleep and Thomas Cole Sleep, pay no interest until 2030 or get an extra 10% off sale prices. Find the ideal match for your perfect night's rest. The anniversary mattress sale now at Home Sleep Express.
The First Warn Weather Team is tracking.
You better believe they are.
Large hail, strong winds, tornadoes.
No matter what the conditions.
You got flood watch kicking in.
Severe thunderstorm warning, hail to flash flood warning.
A lot of water on the roads.
The First Warn team warns you first.
Driving us to another alert day today.
And stays till the threat is gone.
Well, we continue to monitor the severe weather event that's going on, and right now...
Expect more from your weather coverage. First Warn Weather on News 8 Now.
And show you what the threat is looking like for tomorrow.
Miss a story or need to watch it again? Find them all on the News 8 Now app.
Welcome back at 6:54. Time for your morning news now. A proceeding to determine whether criminal charges should be filed in the death of Terriana Thompson starts today. She was the lacrosse mother struck and killed while riding her bike on the north side in May. The driver received a citation, but her family's been pushing for more. Community members are gathering outside the La Crosse County Courthouse this morning in solidarity, wearing pink in her honor. As that heat and humidity roll in, medical experts say it's time to be extra careful. One key concern is the humidity. Saturated air makes it harder for your body to cool off, raising the risk of heat-related illness.
Having a fan move some of that air around your body to kind of pull some of that moisture, some of your sweat off too, that'll help you cool off as well. Loose fitting clothing is good, again, keeping that air moving around your body as much as possible.
Experts add to pre-hydrate before you plan on heading outside. Even drinking extra water the day before can make a difference. Well, happy birthday to Punch the monkey, the beloved Japanese macaw turning 1 year old yesterday. More than 2,500 birthday cards poured into a zoo in Tokyo for Punch's special day. Also, zookeepers say he's now embraced by other monkeys. Look at him there, and has adapted well since his abandonment. Of course, he's got his plushie.
Yes,
look at him.
His cuddle buddy.
The shot that made him famous.
See, I couldn't recall Punch the monkey when we brought him up earlier, but after seeing the baby pictures of him with his stuffed monkey, yeah,
you could never forget.
That rung a bell. He's famous for a very good reason.
He's so cute.
Happy birthday, Punch. Hopefully, it's better weather over in Japan, I think you said, than here today, because it's going to be a scorcher. Your AC going to be working in overtime today on maximum power, especially through the afternoon. Crank it up as low, or down, I guess I should say, as low as it can go, because we'll have your heat index into the triple digits as we go into the afternoon across most of the area, likely even above 100 degrees for what it feels like shortly after the noon hour today. The good news is the winds switch around, be out of the north as soon as this evening. It's going to cause drastic changes. The temperature is only falling about 8 degrees difference from today to tomorrow afternoon, but the dew points will be close to 15 to 20 degrees cooler. So that means your heat index is actually going to be pretty close to that real temperature tomorrow, much more manageable.
Okay, that will sound, we're getting a little more what we expect. All right, thank you, Nicole. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you back here at noon.